President Trump is eager to sign a trade deal with the UK, if and when it actually leaves the European Union. But some of his comments are fueling fears about what a trade deal could mean for the country's healthcare service.
When you're dealing in trade, everything's on the table. So NHS or anything else, or a lot more than that. But everything will be on the table, absolutely.
The NHS, or National Health Service, is the UK's government-run healthcare system. And it's part of the reason the UK spends so much less on healthcare than the US. While both governments spend about the same percentage of their GDP on healthcare, Americans spend exponentially more on private systems than UK citizens do. Proponents of the NHS worry that the US might push for trade provisions that would undermine the UK's healthcare system. The White House has talked about forcing the UK to pay more for US-made pharmaceuticals. Right now, the NHS is able to negotiate much lower prices from pharma companies than its fragmented US counterparts. That move's not likely to be well received in the UK. A YouGov poll last year found an overwhelming amount of British citizens like the country's healthcare system. Several of the candidates running to be the country's next prime minister have promised to defend the NHS in any trade talks with the US.
In the NHS, as a publicly run, publicly owned institution, is part of our DNA.
But detractors of the UK's socialized medicine system argue introducing more privatized competition to the country will cut down on long wait times and underfunded services. President Trump tweeted last year that the NHS was, quote, going broke and not working, in order to argue against a similar government-run healthcare system here in the US. Healthcare is just one of a number of dicey issues that could get in the way of a US-UK trade deal. The two countries will also have to square their different approaches to food safety standards. The US wants the UK to relax strict EU standards and allow products like chlorine-washed chickens onto the UK market.